Folks, how are we doing? Hope you're all having a wonderful Wednesday evening. Nice to see you all again. Thank you so much, Moon Yu, for the Twitch Prime sub. Really appreciate that. I see some familiar faces here. We have Red Comet. We have Dick Sonya Mouth. Welcome back. Jordy Problems. Plarn Dude. Torch Crimson. Winston. So nice to see you all. Selena, hey bestie, I have missed y'all. Sadly, I have a job now. I won't be able to rarely make it here anymore, not even on Leftist Mafia. Well, that's no problem because the VODs will be available. So on my second YouTube channel, Mike Figueredo, I will sometimes just upload the whole Twitch stream there. Or you could watch the VOD on Twitch for 2 weeks too. But yeah. VOD will also be available for Leftist Mafia too, so no sweat. No sweat whatsoever. Appreciate you covering the potential Supreme Court case regarding Section 230. I was watching a video by Legal Eagle who broke down Section 230 and how devastating this ruling could be. Yeah, I actually did not see his video. I saw that he put out a video on it, but yeah, I'll have to check that out. Shout out to Red Comet, our mod Brian, who recommended this story. And, yeah, I want to talk about this. You know, I actually did talk about this before, but I think it's important that we cover it again just because this is a huge, huge story. Balthazar, thank you so much for the Tier 1 sub. I do wonder what a $500,000 fundraiser from Hassan would have meant for the Trevor Project a week ago. Yeah, I think that would have made a huge, huge difference. I really hope that he still does that, because that would be phenomenal. It'd be great. I think Hassan has a good heart, so I would love to see that happen. I'm sure that he will. I only saw Philip DeFranco cover Section 230. Yeah, actually, I'm going to play a Philip DeFranco video just because I think that he did a great job. He spoke with a law professor who really put it in stark terms, so I think that that's important. You know what? Why don't we just get to it? So I would what am I trying to say? I would introduce you to my co-host for this evening, but I have none because Poopy is sleeping on the floor next to the bed. So I am going to be doing this alone this evening, which sucks. By the way, folks, before we get to this, I should just say I'm going to start streaming the Leftist Mafia live on YouTube. I did not know that you have to sign up for like an ultra account on Streamlabs in order to stream on 2 different places. That's extremely fucked up. There are such greedy motherfuckers. I also have a brand new intro for Leftist Mafia, so we should get to that. Oh, but before I do anything, I forgot. We've got to thank our newest YouTube, Patreon, and Twitch members and the donors, because there's a huge list this week. So let me get to that really quick. So we have 64-Bit Luna, Aaron V, Bloodcard Beefy, Kaitra, Crystal Waters, Cutthroat 1789, Hannah, Hideous Lemon, Ice Picker 82, It's Socialism or Barbarism, Java James 78, Jen Pepper, Laura, Lydia Bailey Boone, Michael Jones, Moonphase Secret, Nikki Cottrell, Rational Discourse, Sandra Teehee, Scott Maines, The JP, Tweakle, and Zumi Medi. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate the support. Humanist Report, always loved your content. Been watching you for so many years. Much love from Demon Mama and the Imps. Hey, that's incredible. I love Demon Mama. Demon Mama is based. So thanks for the love. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Poopy, he doesn't want to get on camera lately. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't prefer the chair that I have. So maybe I should just put like a big dog bed there instead of the little chair. I thought that the chair was comfortable, but I think it's a little bit difficult for him to get into it. So maybe that's why he's against it. HMMM, thank you so much for the $10 tip. I really appreciate that. Section Tooth Hurdy sounds like a dental legislation. I didn't think of it that way. That's funny. Appreciate the dono, though. Thank you so much. Hildebeest, how's it going? It's nice to see you. What do you all want to do first? Do you want to see the new Leftist Mafia intro? I mean, I shouldn't say new, but I spiced it up a little bit. And I want to make sure that you all like it. Well, I was going to get a poll. It's not that important. But do you all want to see that first, or do you want to get to section 230? What do you say? I need to go to the dentist. I think I have a cavity coming in. Also should get a cleaning, but yeah. You want to hear that first? Okay, let's play it. So without further ado, this is the new Leftist Mafia intro. Same intro, but I added in some sound bites that I think you all are going to appreciate.
Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about cancel culture.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists. Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
Not bad, right? That's pretty good. I spent way too much time working on that last night. I was up a little bit later, but I think the result was pretty good. The longest, the biggest time sink was trying to find these clips and trying to remember what clips I wanted to put in. And it took me so long. Did you guys consider the name The Leftist Mob? I'm not sure. So Lance and his chat are the ones that came up with the name. So I'm not sure how they came up with it, but either way, I like it. We're rolling with it. So yeah. So I didn't make the video. Lance made the video, and I did the all the sound clips in it. Liana, it's nice to see you. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I think it is. Part of me didn't want to Oh, Lance did a poll. Okay. Yeah, because Winston is a mod for Lance, too. I forgot about that. Yeah. So you probably saw that. So I don't know. I didn't see the creative process behind that. But, I trust Lance. Lance creatively is, I think, a genius. So, I was ready to go with whatever he came up with. Like, I literally named my show The Humanist Report. So I was not qualified to come up with the name. But I'm thankful that other people who are much more creative with more talent than me did. And yeah, I fuck with the name. Okay, folks, let's talk about Section 230. So, huge shout out to Brian, Red Comet, my mod in the chat, for sending me this. Now, I actually talked about Section 230 before, back in, what was this? This was 4 months ago, so October. And I kind of break down everything that's at stake here. And so if you want to watch this video, I would highly encourage it. But Section 230, there is a lot of talk around this and what it means, because it kind of became this partisan political issue thanks to Donald Trump. He called out Section 230 and wanted it repealed. Then all the Republicans got on board with that. The problem is that we don't really know what happens if Section 230 is repealed, and we don't really want to see what happens if Section 230 is repealed, because Section 230, as it stands now, it's not perfect, but it protects social media companies from lots of lawsuits. And if they're not protected from these lawsuits, then they're going to either moderate us out of existence, meaning people on YouTube, on Twitter, they're going to be a lot more censorious, or it's kind of like a free-for-all where they don't do any moderation, which also is not great as well. So the problem is that like a lot of this is speculation. Now I want to get to a Philip DeFranco video, because he spoke with a law professor who kind of puts it in very stark terms, and he's very pessimistic about this outcome. It's not just one Supreme Court case that determines the future of Section 230 and the internet, but it's 4, and he doesn't think that there's much reason to be optimistic. But we'll get to that.
That today's models.
Let's get to the rundown here.
Right, so they need to be understood. Meaning the human should understand why is it making that decision, and how is it making that decision, and can I and if I can understand the why, and then I can engage it. That
I don't know where that came from. Oh, it must be is it an auto? Oh, it's an autoplay video. Okay, that like threw me off. I hate it. I hate it so much. So this was published on the 13th by Tate Ryan Mosley. So the Supreme Court may overhaul how you live online. Content recommendation algorithms rule your digital life. The Section 230 case under review could change it all. And this is really significant, and a lot of people aren't focusing on this, but I really want to draw your attention to this. So recommendation algorithms sort most of what we see online and determine how posts, news articles, and accounts you follow are prioritized on digital platforms. In the past, recommendation algorithms and their influence on our politics have been the subject of much debate. Think Cambridge Analytica, filter bubbles, and the amplification of fake news. Now they're at the center of a landmark legal case that ultimately has the power to completely change how we live online. On February 21st, that's coming up here, folks, the Supreme Court will hear arguments in Gonzalez v. Google, which deals with allegations that Google violated the Anti-Terrorism Act when YouTube's recommendations promoted ISIS content. It's the first time the court will consider a legal provision called Section 230. Now, Section 230, I'm sure it's going to explain, protects YouTube from getting sued because of the ISIS content that's online, because they're not a publisher. They're simply just allowing people to post what they want. But if we get rid of Section 230, then that means that these social media companies will be treated as if they are publishers, which means they're going to be a lot more sensitive to what they allow on their platforms, which means lots of censorship, which means that people like myself, content creators, just regular social media posters, are going to be up shit creek without a paddle. Section 230 is the legal foundation that for decades, all the big internet companies with any user-generated stuff, Google, Facebook, Wikimedia, AOL, even Craigslist, built their policies and often businesses upon. As I wrote last week, it has long protected social media platforms from lawsuits over harmful user-generated content while giving them leeway to remove posts at their discretion. Now, it's not like a perfect system, but without this, I mean, we don't know what the internet would look like. To get rid of Section 230 means that it's a completely different internet. Yeah, as Red Comment states, the algorithm could die, and that would kill many creators. Because think about this, it's not just YouTube. So what do you do if the Supreme Court overturns Section 230, right? And it could be a partial overturn. We don't know how they're going to rule, but let's just say, hypothetically speaking, they get rid of Section 230. No more protections for these companies. Well, YouTube says, all right, well, we're only going to allow certain creators on this platform now, trusted sources, corporate brand safe sources, NBC, MSNBC, Fox News, right? Because they're apparently an authoritative news source. But either way, that means that we're all done, right? We can still post on the platform, but the difference would be that the algorithm would no longer promote our content. And it's already hard enough. Like, the algorithm doesn't necessarily suggest our content as much as it used to, but it would be effectively turning these social media companies into a Dropbox-like system where I can still upload to YouTube, but YouTube would not be able to promote that. Otherwise, they'd be viewed as a publisher. So in order for you to see my content, you'd have to have a link that I generate and give to you. It's a dystopian, slippery slope, and it doesn't benefit anyone. Like, it doesn't benefit the left, it doesn't benefit the right. Everyone could be harmed, but here we have a bunch of hyper-conservative, partisan boomers who don't understand the internet about to make a decision that could change the way that we all view the internet. Now, it's the United States, right? So just one country will be affected in theory, but if Google has to change their infrastructure and policies for one major country, odds are they're going to do it for Canada. They're going to do it in Europe. So I mean, the implications of this are extremely broad and far-reaching, and what really is difficult to grapple with here is the uncertainty, because even if they go in a bad direction, how far will they go? You know, so that's the problem here. So the stakes really could not be higher. As I wrote, if Section 230 is repealed or broadly reinterpreted, these companies may be forced to transform their approach to moderating content and to overhaul their platform architectures in the process. Without getting into all the legalese here, what is important to understand is that while it might seem plausible to draw a distinction between recommendation algorithms, especially those that aid terrorists, and the display and hosting of content, technically speaking, it's a really murky distinction. Algorithms that sort by chronology, geography, or other criteria manage the display of most content in some way, and tech companies and some experts say it's not easy to draw a line between this and algorithmic amplification, which deliberately boosts certain content and can have harmful consequences and some beneficial ones too. While my story last week narrowed in on the risks the ruling poses to community moderating systems online, including features like the Reddit upvote, experts I spoke with had a slew of concerns. Many of them shared the same worry that SCOTUS won't deliver a technically and socially nuanced ruling with clarity. And that's the thing, like, even if they aren't very clear, they can have a ruling that creates a gray area that kind of forces these social media companies to play it safe so they're not subject to a lot of lawsuits. So this Supreme Court doesn't give me a lot of confidence. Eric Goldman, a professor and dean at Santa Clara University, this is the individual who Philip DeFranco spoke to, who we're going to hear from in a second here. Goldman is concerned that the ruling will have broad unintentional consequences and worries that the risk of an opinion that's an internet killer. On the other hand, some experts told me that the harms inflicted on individuals and society by algorithms have reached an unacceptable level, and though it might be more ideal to regulate algorithms through legislation, SCOTUS should really take this opportunity to change internet law. I don't agree with that approach right there. I think that is really just, I mean, the internet is imperfect, yes, but the internet currently allows a lot of voices that wouldn't otherwise be heard to be heard. So without it, it's going to be a nightmare. So let me get to the professor here and what he has to say. So the entire interview is several minutes, but there's one part in particular that I think is really important. We'll start a little bit back.
There's a hosting function. The services give them a URL, and then we all have to do our own work in order to get an audience for our
No, this is him talking about what could happen. He uses the Dropbox analogy. That's kind of what YouTube and other social media platforms will be turned into. So I got that analogy from him, just FYI, but let's hear him explain further.
That would just change the internet at its very core, how we think about the internet, And that would be a bad outcome.
And if the court decides that algorithmic recommendations aren't covered by Section 230, social media platforms would be stuck in what Goldman calls the moderator's dilemma, where they're essentially forced to choose between all bad options. First, because they'd be liable for all content they recommend, they'd have to moderate everything with extreme precision and perfection. But that's essentially impossible for these companies, and if they actually tried to do this, it would likely result in them over-blocking and potentially censoring anything that anyone says is defamatory. Because to not do so would risk lawsuit after lawsuit. The second option would be to go the complete opposite direction, provide no moderation at all. And if they end up getting sued, basically they would just argue willful blindness, right? If I never tried, I never failed. Well, that was an argument that lawyers told clients to make before Section 230 existed. It hasn't really been tested in court since. But if a judge did rule in favor of such a claim, it would basically give social media companies a blank check to allow offensive and violent speech to run wild. And then there's a third option.
The third note is to say, I can't win this game. I can't do it perfectly. I can't let everyone have their say because I'm going to be overrun by garbage content. And the only way then to win that game is not to play at all. And so that's the real stakes, I think, in this case.
With Goldman saying he thinks that the more likely outcomes are some combination of the first and third option. That platforms will be forced to regulate content super intensely or shut down altogether, which, key thing here, would be absolutely devastating for content creators. And actually, to illustrate exactly how bad this could be, Goldman gave us a helpful example of what the world would look like on our own platform here.
So one likely scenario is that
this is key
would
here.
Scale back any recommendations at all. It would simply reduce the ability of users to find the content that they think is relevant, make it harder for them to do so. That's not really a good business experience for the users of YouTube. One other possibility is that YouTube could say, instead of reducing recommendations, they'll keep doing recommendations like they have in the past. They'll just constrain the number of people who are allowed to publish on YouTube in the first place.
But the people who would be allowed to publish are only those who YouTube decides are not legally risky, right? And obviously only a small percentage of creators would get that privilege and everyone else would kind of just get kicked off the service.
From that perspective, one likely scenario of any change to Section 230 here is that we're going to see, quote, the rich get richer. The people who already have audiences and already have power in the marketplace of ideas, they're going to continue to get the same kind of treatment that they've got in the past. It's everyone else, the small players, the people who could become big influencers in the future, but haven't gone that far yet. They may never get that chance because the doors will be closed to them.
So think about a world where that's what the internet looks like. We're already gradually moving towards that direction, but this would open the floodgates, right? With these large social media giants being so fearful of litigation because they, published something or allowed something on their platform that is bad, that they're just not going to allow shit on their platform. Like, it kills social media as we know it. And social media, again, there's so many negatives to it. I'm not saying this is a perfect world and a perfect system, but the ulterior is much, much worse. Balthazar with a $10 tip, thank you so much, saying regulation requiring certain transparency with algorithms would go a long way towards fixing right-wing biases in social media, as well as making ambiguous strikes and bans blatantly clear. Exactly. I think that is a form of regulation that benefits all of us, right? Because if we can see the algorithms and we can see the way that they function, and these social media giants are compelled to be more transparent, that's a win for all of us. Right-wingers, left-wingers, the goal is to even the playing field here. And repealing Section 230 would not do that. The opposite would be true. Now, they could just strike down the ability of social media giants to have discretion as to what they allow on their platforms, but that wouldn't be great too, because just to allow anything, that means that we could see criminal videos, exploitative footage be uploaded to YouTube, and they can't do anything about that, which is bad. Violence, ISIS beheading videos. I mean, imagine, I don't want to empower big tech more than they already are, but I think that in terms of getting content off the platform that actually causes harm, like ISIS beheading videos, child exploitation, I think that's important. But the Supreme Court could just fuck all of this up. I don't know a more eloquent way to put it. But this last part of the interview is genuinely chilling, because what the professor says, he's not very optimistic. I'll put it that way.
Also, with all this, let's be clear. This isn't just something that's going to apply to Google and YouTube. This would impact all social media companies that host third-party content and are currently protected by Section 230. And just in case you thought the story couldn't get worse, it does. While those are some scenarios that Goldman says are likely to come out of this whole ruling, Gonzalez isn't the only case where the Supreme Court could totally upend the internet. Literally one day after they hear Gonzalez, the justices are set to consider a very similar case called Twitter v. Tomna, with that focusing on whether platforms are liable for terrorist-related content posted by their users under federal anti-terrorism law. And very notably here, Goldman says that content monetization is at play in these cases, because lower courts have said that paying terrorists for content could violate the law. And if that's upheld, there's a possibility that companies like YouTube would have to stop monetizing content because they can't manage the risk, or at least very significantly pare down who gets monetization. And then actually even beyond those two cases.
So just like not monetizing on YouTube would kill every single channel. I mean, they would still exist, but not in the same form. Because this is like the livelihood now of thousands and thousands of people, myself included. So if we can't monetize our content, then what do you do? What do you do in that instance? You have to rely exclusively on Patreon, but that's difficult, right? Because there's a lot more creators. There'd be more competition for those Patreon dollars. It put, creators against each other, and that's really bad. Jay Marion, thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate that, folks. How's it going? My name is Mike. I host the Humanist Report. And right now we're talking about Section 230. Section 230 is something that the Supreme Court is currently reviewing, and they could repeal it. And if they do, the internet will look like an entirely different place. And I'm kind of just freaking out about it. We're kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? We're spiraling. That's probably the best word. But thanks for coming in. Yeah, hateful bastards like Chaya Rychik need to be legally held accountable, though. I mean, that account is literally a stochastic terrorist account. So, yeah, I wouldn't even compare that to traditional content. I agree with you. There's real harm there. And I think that if Boston Children's Hospital wanted to sue Chaya Rychik and Matt Walsh for defamation, I'm no legal expert, but I think it's worth that they pursue that. Maybe they'd have a case because they actually caused real harm there. So, yeah. But let's keep listening here.
Or two others that the Supreme Court could take up regarding new laws in Florida and Texas. Laws that aim to ban social media companies from taking down certain political content or accounts, among other wide-ranging regulations. And just at the end of January, the justices asked the Biden administration to weigh in on the cases, effectively delaying a decision to take them up, at least for now. But it's widely believed that the court will have to consider these matters eventually, and even possibly in the next term beginning this October. And all four of these have the potential to completely change the internet.
Just assume for a moment, this is like a package of bad ideas. So it's not just one bad idea. There's a lot going on there. In other words, for the internet to look like it does today, we have to win all four of those cases perfectly. And those are really long odds that make me very, very nervous.
Right, and to that last point, Goldman noted, we really don't know where the justices are.
I have to pause it right there. In order for the internet to remain as it is right now, as imperfect as it is, we have to win all four cases. I mean, the odds are stacked against us. And if you thought that net neutrality and the threat of that repeal was bad, this is like a net neutrality repeal on steroids. Because we're not just talking about charging users for additional content or access to content. Like, this is fundamentally going to reshape the entire internet.
To fall on this question. Right, Justice Clarence Thomas has written a couple of statements criticizing Section 230, but because this issue cuts across partisan lines, Goldman says he really has no idea where the other justices will land. And while it's unknown when or if the court will take up the Florida and Texas cases, we will have an answer on both Gonzalez and Tomna by the end of the term in June.
So basically, I'm marking June 30th as, basically the RIP internet date that I'm going to have a little headstone card for.
So, hey, I guess mark your calendars. But on that cheery note, the way I want to close this out is, what are your thoughts? What do you make?
So this expert on Section 230 is saying June 30th is the internet's death day. That is horrifying. That is absolutely horrifying to think about. The internet could be a very different place a year from now. We just don't know. It's possible that the Supreme Court limits the scope of their ruling. Again, there's so many variables here and so much working against us that this just seems Like, the situation is hopeless, but yeah, the best we can do right now is sound the alarm. Yeah, it's very, very gross. Shitty situation. Okay, but moving on to something a little bit funnier. So 50 Shades of Way shared this on Twitter. A Christian YouTube channel with hundreds of thousands of subscribers talks about how they think witches are infiltrating the church. Oh no, they're on to us. So the video is only 59 seconds. You can't see the time code. I can already tell I'm gonna want more than 59 seconds of this. But let's go ahead and see what they have to say.
Personal knowledge of people that were witches, and they became Christians. They told me that they would go to classes to train, dance classes to infiltrate the dance team, the music team. They were trained on what we do in our churches. Then they go.
Why are they taking notes here though? Like the witches, they're in the dance classes. That just to me is great.
Into the church, they befriend people. Before you know it, they're on the music team. Some of them even got on the church board. The whole time, their whole goal was to bring down the church.
Well, the Jezebel is the first one. Jezebel is the first one I want to be on your board. Because Jezebel has a manipulation spirit, you know. There's 21 attributes who Jezebel is. It's not just a controlling spirit, but Jezebel is a spirit that shows a form of repentance. And when you leave your guard down, she attacks you. Okay, Jezebel will use other people to do her bidding. You know, there's a lot of things by Jezebel. So if I can go and get into your board, if I can get into your board, then I can get into your blueprint of who at your church.
Personal knowledge of people.
I promise you that there isn't a single person in this entire country, a single witch or Jezebel, who has enough time to go to your church, infiltrate it, specifically with the intent to bring it down, because that is just a foolish endeavor, just mathematically speaking. Okay, let's say that they're successful here and they bring down the church. Okay, there's like 1 trillion other churches in the United States. There's like one on every fucking corner. So if the goal is to destroy religion, doing it on this very micro level is the biggest waste of time ever. And I think that that person who infiltrated the church is probably dumber than the people who go to the church, unironically. So this is one of the dumbest conspiracy theories I've ever heard from a religious person. But this isn't necessarily new. Like, they've talked about the ways in which, like, the devil is influencing people in the church even, and is trying to get them to turn away from God, what yada yada. But they're actually saying, no, like, somebody's on like a fucking spy mission, going to the church, getting on the board, and they're fucking trying to bring down the whole church. But how are they going to even do that, though? Like, do you get on the board and then you fucking falsely accuse other board members of doing things? Do you embezzle money? How would they bring down the church by being a member of it? The conspiracy itself doesn't even make sense. But I love how, like, they're so convinced, like, they're playing spooky music as if, like, this is really something to be concerned with. Leah, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that. I've got to see more. Let's see. Is there any links? I really want to see. Come on, folks. God, what YouTube channel is this? It's better than the Jim Baker content. Jim Baker said that he went to prison because of cancel culture. And I thought that was gold, but, like, this is the best. Also on the Jim Baker show, remember that lady said that, like, what was it? That a reptilian tried to have sex with her at night and it impersonated her husband. And then she invoked Jesus' name. And then it went away. Let me try to find that, because that shit is gold. Hang on a second. Actually, I did a video on this, so maybe I can just find my video. Let me search. Humanist report. Preacher. It was like, does anyone remember? God, it was such a good video. I posted it like last year. You all remember? Okay. Okay, I'm searching for Humanist report reptilian. Because I think the lady said something about a reptilian. Damn it, I'm not finding shit. What was it? Humanist report. Preacher husband. Come on. I have to see it. Let me see. Preacher. Let me clear my searches. Preacher. Reptilian? I don't remember what she said is the problem. This is it! Yes!
Finally, I said, I've had enough. In my mind, I reached up. I grabbed...
No. We're not getting the full story, though. I want to hear her tell it from the beginning. I guess this is all we get.
Finally, I said, I've had enough.
You found it? Gamer G coming in clutch. Okay, that's why I couldn't find. Televangelist claims alien tried to smash until she invoked Jesus' name. Okay, let me get to the clip itself. Good luck.
After Derek and I got married, one night, this other Derek appears in our bed. The real Derek is lying down next to me. Other Derek sits right up out of him. It startled me. I knew that was not Derek. And so I asked this critter, "Who are you?" Because he clearly wanted to have sexual relations.
I'm gonna come.
And he said, "Come on, I'm your husband." I said, "Who are you?" And he had the nerve to claim to be Ahasuerus, Xerxes. Well, other Derek seriously wanted to invite me to use my free will to do something that was going to pull me away from God. So this last time, I knew he was really desperate. And I asked him again, "Who are you?" He told me the same answer, and I said, "I am not going with you." This was an internal dialogue. Finally, I said, "I've had enough." In my mind, I reached up. I grabbed his face, and I said, "You are a liar, and Jesus is real." And I pulled that face off, and beneath it was a reptile. And he had little creatures with him this time. He brought these little halfling creatures, and they looked like, I don't know, gargoyles. They were very reptilian as well. So beneath that face of Derek was a reptilian serpentine creature, probably similar to what was visiting the Anasazi.
Wow. Well, the Bible said...
Now, I know that you think... Just like move on. Okay, I'm gonna pee. I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna let old Mike entertain you while I go to the bathroom. I'll be back. I'm just gonna make fun of her. But I'm not gonna do that. I actually believe her. Hear me out. I actually believe her. And the reason why I believe her is because I actually experienced something really similar when I first got married as well. So I saw this creature like maybe 2-3 weeks after my wedding. Every single night at around 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning, it was standing in the corner of my room. And I mean, 5, 6, 7 nights in a row. Same thing, same time. It was the creature just right there standing in the corner of my room. And I was crippled with fear. I didn't know what to say. Finally, one night, I worked up the courage to say, "What do you want from me?" Because, I mean, if you see this dark figure there and it's mimicking the face of your loved one, then clearly there's something supernatural going on. But I said, "What do you want from me?" And it responded with, "I want to suck your dick." And so I thought, wait, this alien-like creature who's very clearly mimicking my spouse wants to suck my dick? That doesn't... What? So unlike Sharon, I actually did allow this... Whoa, Mike, what did I stumble into here? Alien to do that. And I've got to say, I'm really glad that I did, because not only did the apparition stop appearing at that point, and yes, I did find out that I was a reptilian, but after that, I couldn't have been happier, because alien pussy is out of this fucking world.
What the fuck was I on about here?
Excuse myself.
What the fuck? I don't remember this video. It's been too long. I'm uncontrollable. So immature.
Okay, real quick, I want to see the transition again when she ends the story and what the people listening said.
Was a reptilian serpentine creature, probably similar to what was visiting the Anasazi.
Wow. Well, the Bible said.
Anyways, Genesis 13:3 says. I mean, honestly, to be fair to them, I don't know how I would.
Mike smashed a Lissy confirmed. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a number on the screen. I should try to call it. Maybe it's like a prayer request hotline. Let me just see. 1-8. I put it in my phone when I was watching it. Let me see what that does.
Thank you for calling. Your call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance. Please hold for the next available operator. If you are calling in regard to an order status, please call customer service at 417-779-9203 and leave a detailed message, and a customer service representative will give you a call. For all other needs, please stay on the line.
Okay. Is it gonna be religious music? What was this lady's name? How long do I really want to wait for this shit? Oh.
God bless you. Thanks for calling the Jim Baker program. My name is Marquita. Can I have your first and last name?
Yeah, it's John Templeton.
All right, that is John.
Yes.
And then Templeton, can you spell that for me?
Yeah, TEMPLTONE.
TEMPLETONE.
That's correct.
Okay, and how can I help you today?
I was just wondering about the DVD The Great Delusion by Josh Peck. One, I wanted to know if that was still available, and if Drake was on it as well. Because I'm assuming that's like Josh Peck from the Drake and Josh show. So is Drake available on that as well? And is the DVD still available?
And you said, what was the name of the DVD?
It was called The Great Delusion. It's a bit older. It was $25. I think it came out like a year or so ago.
Great. One moment. Yes, the Great Delusion DVD. It is available. It's $25, and it's by Josh Peck.
Okay, so that is the one, Josh Peck from Nickelodeon.
I'm not sure if he's from Nickelodeon or not, but it is by Josh Peck. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Because I only want to get it if it's from Josh Peck from Nickelodeon. Well, I guess I'll have to confirm, and then I'll call back. At least I know that it's available, so I appreciate you checking.
No problem, and we thank you for calling. You have a blessed evening.
You too, thank you. God bless.
You're welcome.
Bye. I forgot to ask about the alien shit. But Josh Peck. I'm thinking of the Josh Peck from Drake and Josh, right? Let me see. Yeah, this is Josh Peck. So if it's like a Drake and Josh reunion, I think it would be worth the $25 to see that. Let me see. Josh Peck. What is it called? The Great Delusion? The Great Delusion. Let's see here. Oh, fuck. Whoa. The fuck is this? Oh my god.
Welcome to Skywatch TV. I'm Joe Horn. The world
Joe
received
Horn.
the start.
Well, where's Josh Peck? Is this Josh Peck? This is the guy from the video. He's the dude who just like dismissed all of her concerns at the end. Mr. Ponytail Man.
As well. So beneath that face of Derek was a reptilian serpentine creature, probably similar to what was visiting the Anasazi.
Wow. Well, the Bible said...
Oh, thank God she's done talking. But yeah, that's this dude right here. So you don't even have to buy the DVD. They're charging $25 for it. It's free right here. But like, how do I know who Josh Peck is? This looks actually demonic. Holy shit. So, who's Josh Peck?
Really, they just assigned people to try to explain away
right.
any of this activity. Now something started happening, something...
Times again.
I mean, imagine if you walked outside one morning and you looked up and there were aerial craft and every station on television is either a public emergency broadcast network reveal.
I mean, have you all seen the balloons lately? Maybe their prophecy their prophecy came to fruition. But where... They're also kind of, the Great UFO Delusion. So maybe they're not believers of UFOs. I just want to see, like, which Josh Peck did this. We're doing a little bit of investigative work here, folks. The Great Delusion. So here we go. Why the Vatican is in possession of a telescope named Lucifer. I might actually have to watch it. Why the ancient and mysterious Anasazi suddenly disappeared from the historic record. How alien abductions might be connected to the 6th chapter of the book of Genesis. So they're just straight up like they are assuming that alien abductions have happened. If there is a secret alien human hybridization program being conducted, Alex Jones already gave us evidence of this. So yes. Is if there's a connection between aliens and supernatural entities such as demons and fallen angels, and what we can do to prepare ourselves. So apparently we're not going to figure out who Josh Peck is. I'm just going to have to assume it's the Josh Peck from Nickelodeon. We've spent so much fucking time on this. I'm so sorry, folks. We're going to have to move on. Jesus Christ. See what happens when I get on a tangent? Okay, so do you all remember this guy? I believe his name is Alex Stein. He's the one who sexually harassed AOC. He also barged into Dave Portnoy's office, and he got smacked by Portnoy's employees. That was actually pretty glorious to watch. Well, apparently The Blaze gave him his own television show, and one of his guests here, Gavin McInnes, started to lose it on the audience. And I think that he believes that Gavin is joking at first, but then he very quickly sees that, oh no, he's actually legitimately angry. So let's take a watch. Or take a listen, I should say.
Get off your fucking phone!
No, do not talk to the audience. No, Gavin.
That's really
breaking
rude,
the fourth wall.
You're the studio audience. You're on your phone.
Okay, see, now we have to break the fourth wall. What people is not seeing is that.
Sorry, I'm boring you,
Gavin. This is
my
show.
Shut up!
Okay.
We can hear all your chattering.
Now we're going off the rails. All right.
Most annoying background I've ever been a part of.
Okay, Gavin we're gonna give him a hint of fentanyl, and we're gonna calm him down a little bit. Things are
Chatty Crew and the fucking phone bunch. Leave it in your pocket. You're at a show. You're part of the show.
I actually do agree with him. I think security
Holy
needs
shit,
to...
it's so disrespectful. Get off your fucking phone.
No, do not talk to the audience. No.
I mean, who does that? What does it matter to you if they're on their phones? They still paid for a ticket, right? Who cares? Let them be on their phones. If you're boring them, then do better. Like, if you're all watching this and you're on your phones, then that's on me. I fucked up. Yeah, snowflakes. Exactly. Very weird. So I found this to be interesting. I haven't watched it yet, but Don Jr. sits down with Kash Patel for a show called Triggered on Rumble. You can't see that, but it's Rumble. Probably a Rumble exclusive. Lucky them. And he's apparently going to complain about the fact that people know that he is a big fan of Coca-Cola. He really likes caffeine a lot. And I'm going to avoid saying the particular drug that I mean, but you all are probably picking up what I'm putting down, right? Caffeine is the drug that I think that he's on, that he's addicted to, that he snorts. Yes, the coffee grains. So we've got to watch this. So the headline here, I'll just kind of like show you. Don Jr. is on coke. Trump's, God, Raw Story has so many ads. You can barely even like visit their website. It's almost incapable of functioning. Anyways, Trump Jr. is on coke. Trump's son says people mistake impassioned speech for drug habit. Don. Come on, Don. Really? Come on. It's shocking to me that he thinks he's subtle. Shocking, but regardless, let's see what he has to say. I haven't pre-watched this yet, so I don't know if he says anything yikesy. Probably, but let's listen.
But half of this country still believes Donald Trump's a Russian asset, and we have to work.
They're still running with it, like, as though it's fact. Like, and yet, when you have, you talked about me. Like, I get it. I've been blessed beyond a belief in this country. Now, I got thrown into politics in my late 30s, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, I just actually believe this stuff. I will more than happily fight for it. There's a consequence to that. I always say it'd have been a lot easier to shut the hell up and be a real estate developer from New York and not get into that. But I actually do believe in this stuff. I want to leave my kids a country, that they can recognize. And so it's so important to be in that fight. But I look at what they called me, a traitor. Adam Schiff wanted to try me for treason, a crime punishable by death. But Hunter Biden can take $1 billion from China, work for Ukraine oligarchs, work for Russian oligarchs, money launderer, be paid in diamonds off the books, not declare anything in taxes, drop guns in dumpsters across from high schools. And it's like, he's an upstanding human being. Then I give an impassioned speech, and they're like, oh, Don Jr.'s on coke.
And I borrow your name, and I don't.
Don, you're not fooling anyone. Why is Kim Iverson's face here? I have to avoid this, otherwise I might get threatened with another lawsuit. Can't say anything, zip my lips. But Don, shut the fuck up. You are so obvious. You are so obvious. Let me find the video that I did recently of him. I don't know if you all remember it, but he, with a straight face, is trying to say that he is not on Coca-Cola. So let me see. Humanist report. Trump Jr. Because this video, like there's a couple. So I've done 2 videos with Trump Jr. where his behavior was, my title's making me laugh. Trump Jr. goes on bizarre caffeine-fueled rant. That's a good title, Mike. Rumble signed 7-figure deal with Trump Jr. for his caffeine-filled rants. And then I just... Look, sometimes my thumbnails are bangers. This one... Not to bring up Dave Rubin, but that's a banger thumbnail. I'm pretty sure that I stole that picture from Progressive Voice. Either way, this is the last one. We've got to check this out, okay? Because I'll let you all be the judge. This man is seriously saying that he's not on caffeine. Where's the video? Okay. Go ahead. Take it away.
Giving them back to investors and all of that
Look
other
at
stuff.
his hands.
But this is a person who was wrapped up in that scandal. She ran a fund that was involved in it. A close colleague of crypto king Sam Bankman-Fried, Ellison is now pleading guilty, saying she knew what they did was illegal. So she knew what they did was illegal, but the Washington Post is still trying to make her into a victim. Okay, I mean, think about that. The Washington Post, owned by
The Washington Post, motherfucker. You're calling this impassioned speech? You're that passionate about fucking Sam Bankman-Fried? What do you all think? Is this impassioned speech or lots of caffeine? Yeah, his eyes give it away. Right? He honestly thinks that we're stupid, though. He thinks that we're so naive. He's just passionate. I'm shocked that he's honestly trying to say that he's not addicted to Coca-Cola.
Jeff Bezos. Okay, so it's the Amazon Washington Post. Other notable headlines from the Washington Post.
Watch the inhale, okay? Because he's talking so fast. Heart is beating so fast, he could barely catch his breath. So, like, after speaking for like 5 minutes straight without taking a breath, look at that huge-ass fucking inhale.
Post in the past. Abu Bakr, my dad took out, it was leading ISIS. He's an austere religious scholar, not a murderer, rapist, piece of crap. This is the Washington Post. This is another article from the Washington Post. Before
I don't give you any more
Crypto King
Let me start
Sam
again.
Bankman-Fried,
I think I went back too far.
Ellison is now pleading guilty, saying she knew what they did was illegal. So she knew what they did was illegal, but the Washington
His voice gets like fucking 8 octaves higher.
Post is still trying to make her into a victim. Okay, I mean, think about that. The Washington Post, owned by Jeff Bezos. Okay, so it's the Amazon Washington Post. Other notable headlines from the...
That's right there. Anyways, the Washington Post, like, holy shit. Like, if we can pan down a little bit, you'd see this. Like, his heart is about to literally explode. And he's just passionate.
Washington Post in the past. Abu Bakr, my dad took out, it was leading ISIS. He's an austere religious scholar, not a murderer, rapist, piece of crap. This is the Washington Post. This is another article from the Washington Post. Before the FTX collapse, founder Sam Bankman-Fried poured millions into pandemic prevention. He's such a good guy, we should make sure he gets off easy. And guess what, folks? In our system, he probably will. Unlike you, or certainly not me, if we actually did the...
Unlike the average folk like Trump Jr.
Things that he did. Most of those initiatives have come to a sudden halt according...
Dick's on mouth says, motherfucker doing finger break dancing. I love that.
According to the Washington Post. I wonder why. Because it seems as though he defrauded billions from people and poured them into leftist causes. And they're shocked. They want to put it back in there. Because guess what, folks? The legacy media, they took their money to write headlines for them, in my opinion, right? And by golly, they're going to write them. Whether they deserve them or not, whether it's current or not, they paid for those headlines.
They paid for those headlines. Trump. Let me get really close to the camera, assuming he's going to watch this. Are you fucking seriously saying with a straight fucking face that you don't have a coke problem? Are you seriously saying that? Veins bulging out of your fucking head, heart racing, talking so fast like you're not even breathing. Are you honestly trying to tell me that we're wrong to say you have a coke problem? One more video. We're, I guess, a rumbler since he's on Rumble.
Of a leak. This is not like Congress where everything leaks. And trust me, I've done enough
Ooh,
testimony.
we got one hand going 100 miles an hour here.
Closed door hearings. I get it. The Supreme Court doesn't have leaks. So if there's not a thorough criminal investigation into who leaked privileged documents about a draft decision from the United States Supreme Court, where a small, tiny handful of people have access to it, then we live in a clown show state. We live in a clown show state, folks. For perspective,
The FBI sent, I believe it was 15 people to investigate a garage pull. Remember that the NASCAR Bubba Wallace thing? And thought it was a noose. Well, it's a garage pull. Like, basically on every garage of every NASCAR track that anyone's ever been at. Didn't matter. 15 people. And if they don't send people to investigate this, then again, we live in a clown show state.
I mean, look, man, you've got to lay off. Yeah. So not as bad in that video, but he's clearly ramped up. Like, that to me stood out. But like, he's progressively gotten worse. And his only deflection is Hunter Biden. Do you remember? So back in like 2020, I think, Kyle Kulinski had a tweet go semi-viral where he like showed a Sesame Street character snorting caffeine. And Trump Jr. actually saw that and responded. And he's like, huh, well, I'm not Hunter Biden, so I wouldn't do that. Or something, like, I'm paraphrasing. So he's always been pretty sensitive about this. But, like, as time goes on, you can tell the problem is getting worse. And he's actually outraged that we would dare say that he's he's on coke because, you know, he's just real passionate. I don't care what you're talking about. 0% chance you're that passionate about these dumbass, banal issues you speak about. The reason why you behave in that way is because you're just on coke. Just own it. I don't get why you are so embarrassed and so sensitive about it. I mean, if we have videos of Hunter Biden behaving in this buffoonish way, screeching like at the top of his lungs, talking about politics, doing finger break dancing, as one of you pointed out, then I would make fun of him too. I don't care about any of these fail sons. I just, like, if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna get made fun of. And so he's honestly, like, he's trying to gaslight us. He's trying to tell us that he's not on Coca-Cola, but the man is a liar. The man probably has like at least 5 pounds of coke in his house at any given time. And when I say coke, I'm obviously referring to Coca-Cola because liquid is heavy. All those cans. So yeah. Jimmy Dore's on Tim Pool's show. No. Is this live?
If you want to follow me personally, you can go to Instagram, and I'm Hannah.
Did this just start?
Why do I always do this? I'm HannahClaire.B, and I'm HC Brimlow on Twitter. Jimmy, this has been great.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And in case anyone doesn't remember,
if you let me climb to the top of this tower. That's the kind of person CNN attracts. Psychopathic narcissists who then talk about how they wanted to hurt other people because they lost their keys to the ivory tower.
Right, and nothing will happen.
He's just laughing every time he hits
it. You think they do it incrementally? Like,
well,
take
Okay, I got another story that I want to talk about before this, but this might be too interesting to me. No, okay, fuck it, we're gonna watch it.
Shoes off before you come in, and then they're like, now take your pants off before you go to the second floor. Now your shirt, take it all off. Or
but then the higher they get up,
I swear to God, we're 5 seconds in, and he's already doing a. I used to work with this old lady, and she would laugh like that, and so whenever he laughs, it reminds me of the old lady who I used to work with. She was not nice, by the way. So. That's what I think of whenever he does his fake laugh.
But then the higher they get up in the ivory tower, they're like, oh, I deserve to be here. Like, I deserve that show. I should be able to punish people around me who took my job away from me. It's such a strange way to behave.
They did a study, and I'm going to butcher it, but basically the end of the study was, the conclusion was they gave people, like they were playing Monopoly, and they gave somebody way more money to start with. And then even if that person won at the end, they thought they deserved to win. They thought they did play better.
Yeah.
Even though, have you heard about that study?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's what you kind of are talking about. So if you get that job in corporate media and you ascend to the height of it, you think that you earned it and you deserve it. What it really indicates is that you're the perfect.
Is there any highlights? Because I don't think I
with Paul
listen to all
Manafort,
this.
they're going to lose money. A lot of it.
Let me pull
They're
up
going to get
the
attacked.
Jason
They're going to lose
Campbell's
street cred. So they opt
of the
for,
world.
I'm just going to say what the audience wants to hear. Someone like me, at the time, I said, I'll tell you what's true. It ends up working out for me in the long run.
Is a good
I think
spot.
for you as well.
Stop.
Right. Yes. They target young people.
As they were, I'm debunking the bullshit articles about Julian Assange and Paul Manafort visiting him at the embassy in London, even though they don't have any pictures of it. I'm debunking that in their studio. They come on after me and they push that story.
So You're at the Young Turks and you're like, this is a lie.
That's
and then 20 minutes later, they're like, actually, it's true.
No, and this is 100% true. But I couldn't. My jaw was on the floor when they did that.
How did you get involved with the Young Turks?
Oh well, I had an hour's Comedy Central special called Citizen Jimmy, which was chosen Best of the Year by iTunes. Thank you very much. And the reason why I tell you that is because if I don't, nobody will. So they
That's
saw
sad.
it. Somebody who worked there saw it. And when Cenk got his job at MSNBC, he was a host on MSNBC. They needed guest hosts. And so they called me in and they said, hey, you're a political comedian. You had a political comedy special. Would you like to host? Well, I was ready, right? Because I had been doing my live Jimmy at door show it was called Pop and Politics back then, at the UCB Theater in Hollywood. And so I was doing video work and I knew how I had, so I was ready. So when they opened the door, I could walk through. And they told me, they said, I'll never forget, they said, don't read the comments because everybody's going to hate you. They only like Cenk. And when I did the show, everybody liked me. And they were like, this is amazing. You should. And that's when they made me a regular host. And the rest is history.
Did you ever ask them why they named the organization after the genocidal Young Turks from the Armenian genocide that basically created the Armenian
Just
genocide?
drag 'em
Enver
further,
Pasha and them? Like, why?
I did ask them. They said they were going to call it the Young Pedophiles. And I was like, that's not a good.
It'd be like calling it
So they settled with the
Nazis. That's
genocidal
crazy.
organization.
No, what I was told was which is the public story, that it means that you're a young, like a Turk, meaning a rebel.
A young upstart.
An
yeah,
upstart.
but that literally is a reference
But it's
to the
literally-
Young Turks.
And he happens to be from Turkey, and then he did deny the genocide for a while. He doesn't anymore, but that's why that didn't look good.
I'm sure they're very excited we're talking about this, so it gives them an opportunity to make shock content for their audience.
I'm all about like
But
retribution and like making the swastika
As if
great again. The
you
wheel of
all
life.
aren't doing the same fucking shit. Jimmy Dore literally farms drama for content, and I love how they're gonna be like, well, they're gonna do clips about this. Huh? So far, it seems really boring, but I'm not like I can't watch this whole thing, so I'll wait for the people who watch the full thing to post clips online because this is too much.
Our empire is over, right? Americans.
I screen record it, therefore generating a new video and say, post it on my Twitter saying, is this real? Is that going to get picked up in these kind?
Proud Boy, who's a libertarian, who hates gays. You're all out. Now we're going to organize our union. That's not how you organize, and these people know it, but they're not serious. They're unserious people who use anti-war as a social.
Okay. I'm zoomed in too far that I couldn't see the player, but yeah, I'll wait for people to post clips because I don't want to watch 2 hours of Jimmy Dore and Tim Pool. It's just too much. I can't like. None of us should put ourselves through that. But the people like Jason Campbell, who watch this stuff for a living and produce clips for us to then react to, I'll let them do that. I'm sure there's going to be COVID vaccine conspiracy theories. I'm sure there's going to be like propaganda for Russia. I don't know. I don't care. But if there's anything funny, then I'm on that like snake on shit. Okay. So I want to talk about this story here. Donald Trump is apparently angry with Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk is disloyal. I think that's the gripe. I mean, that's one of Trump's main critiques about folks. But anyways, this NBC News article says it all. Trump frustrated with a powerful conservative group after its outreach to Ron DeSantis. I love the fighting. People close to the former president say he's been frustrated with Turning Point USA and its founder, Charlie Kirk, although the Trump campaign and Kirk say there's no rift. Lying. Lying liars. That's what they are. Okay, I don't need the whole history of Charlie Kirk. A bigger problem for Kirk and Turning Point, however, is that they may be losing the confidence of their most important supporter, Donald Trump. With the 2024 primary campaign heating up, multiple people close to Trump told NBC News that he and some around him are frustrated by Kirk's overtures to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. A close Trump advisor who spoke with the former president just last week about the matter said that Trump has been watching Kirk's relationship with DeSantis since Turning Point hosted rallies across the country last summer for high-profile GOP candidates with the Florida governor as the headliner. This just feels like he's a jealous boyfriend who is very, very possessive, and he doesn't want you to talk to anyone else. Otherwise, he accuses you of cheating. That's Trump to Charlie Kirk, right? And, I mean, why wouldn't he be jealous if Charlie Kirk is talking to someone else? Have you seen him? Let me see. There's a picture of Charlie Kirk that's fucking hilarious. And I have to show it to you if I could find it. Nope, this isn't it. It's a recent photo. Nope, that's not it either. Damn, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it, but I posted it on Twitter. And he, like, is smiling, and half of his face is gums, and that shit is so funny. It's such a derpy smile. I don't feel bad, like, doing these ad hominem attacks on pieces of shit, but that picture in particular was just such a banger. Anyways, a close Trump advisor who spoke with the former president just last week about the matter said that Trump has been watching Kirk's relationship with DeSantis. Did I just read this shit? Okay. More recently, Trump noticed Kirk starting to ally himself with DeSantis in his effort to shake up the Republican National Committee, according to the advisor, who is not authorized to speak publicly. Kirk was vocal in wanting to oust the incumbent chairwoman, Ronna McDaniel, who was originally handpicked by Trump for the job. DeSantis, on the other hand, publicly praised her challenger, Harmeet Dillon, who was boosted heavily by Kirk in comments that made waves at the RNC's winter meeting last month, and he made those remarks in an interview with Kirk. Trump feels like he has made Charlie, and Charlie's ungrateful, and Trump's not been happy for a while, the advisor said. He's like, you call him and you tell him he'd be nothing without my son. This is the same thing that he said about DeSantis. He'd be nothing without me. I made him. He was going to lose that Republican primary, and I intervened and I endorsed him, and then his polls shot through the roof. Like, this is what Trump says about literally everyone. To his credit, it's kind of true in some cases, but it kind of feels like you're sucking your own cock too much, Trump. Like you're bragging too much. You got to tone it down, but he's not self-aware enough to realize what he's doing. I see that Kirk's trying to cover all his bases, the advisor continued, trying to triangulate between Trump and DeSantis, and Ron may not care, but Trump notices. Oh, I bet he does. Petty little motherfucker. Bet he notices everything. Trump Jr., a close Kirk ally, pushed back on the notion of any discord. Few people in politics have been a stronger or more loyal ally to both my father and our entire family than Charlie, Trump Jr. said in a statement. I know my father appreciates Charlie's early endorsement, and all of us value his friendship. No amount of BS quotes from anonymous sources who have no clue what they're talking about will ever change any of that. Other Kirk allies, as well as the spokesman for Trump, also disputed suggestions that the relationship was frayed. And then Kirk said the same thing. I love President Trump and support him for 2024. Okay. So they really want to make it seem as if they're not in disarray and there's no infighting, because there is infighting right now. There's GOP infighting between the DeSantis and Trump camps. There is grifter infighting between the Daily Wire and Steven Crowder. And now if you see this rift forming between Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk, that's just more infighting that makes them look bad. But look at this video that Media Matters pulled, where Kirk has been, to his credit, a little bit skeptical of some of Trump's decisions. Play. God, Twitter is broken. Thank you, Elon.
Me publicly that some NBC News is telling me publicly that somehow my relationship with you and Trump world is not good.
So I haven't seen this yet. So Charlie Kirk is going to respond directly to the NBC report. But I don't know. Media Matters they always have the receipts, so we'll see.
NBC News is telling me publicly that somehow my relationship with you and Trump world is not good, despite me being repeatedly clear. I'm backing Trump. Still behind Trump, but I have concerns. That is the general consensus.
I am disturbed and bothered at Lindsey Graham's proximity to Donald Trump. Our audience, Pedro, shares my concern. They are just as disturbed as I am.
This actually, unfortunately, just fits a pattern of Trump making bad decisions.
I don't know if you really want Lindsey Graham's endorsement out of the gate. Not a good look and doesn't help him.
Very pro-DeSantis. I don't like any of the negative DeSantis stuff. I think DeSantis is a once-in-a-generation leader.
I would rather see Donald Trump attack Lindsey Graham than Ron DeSantis.
DeSantis is special.
If Donald Trump wants to win in the White House, you don't want Ron Romney. I think it's a big mistake. I do. It's just disappointing. It is. Trump NFTs. What is this all about?
Why on earth did you keep Anthony Fauci around so long?
It's just perplexing to me.
I don't know. I say let them fight, and I'm glad that Media Matters is stoking the infighting here. That's good. Now, one thing that I wanted to show you, we're not going to read too much into this, but there's been a couple of op-eds in the New York Times where they are pandering to transphobes and TERFs and pretending as if the gender affirming care thing is debatable when the experts have very clearly provided us with evidence and studies to substantiate their claims that gender affirming care is medically necessary. So anyways, there's like 100 organizations and celebrities who are signing this open letter to the New York Times, and they're just saying do better. So some of the names here are recognizable. So there is, let's see here, Alejandra Caraballo, she's great. Basic Rights Oregon, Charlotte Clymer. Charlotte Clymer. That sounds familiar. That's the Democratic Party Biden supporter, right? Don't like her, but I do like Dylan Mulvaney. Dylan's great. There's a couple of celebrities. Where is it? The fuck's the celebrities? Oh, Judd Apatow, that's a big one. Lena Dunham. We could do without her. Margaret Cho. There's also, I thought there was Gabrielle Union. Did I pass her? Gabrielle Union, yeah. Gabrielle Union, she's amazing. Her and Dwayne Wade, have a trans daughter. Really great parents. Let's see who else. There's all these names, but like I don't know a lot of them. Nina West. Peppermint. Who's Peppermint? Shakira? No. Okay, never mind. I need new glasses. Oh, Peppermint is a drag queen. Okay. I'm fucking thinking of my niece likes it. You know what I'm thinking of? I'm gonna show you. I'm thinking of Peppa Pig. But no. I'm such a boomer. I don't know who I thought this was Shakira, but it's not Shakira. Okay. There's some celebrities, okay? Folks, just take my word. So yeah. I like that they're doing this. I think it's good. Lots of organizations, some celebrities, but yeah. Miss Magazine. God, I feel like I should know more of these people, though. Right? I'm a member of the community, and I don't know a lot of these people. Like the individual names. But to be fair, I am a boomer. This name sounds familiar, but I don't know. Wait. No, I know. I do know. That's the, that show on Netflix. I was gonna get it. No, you're good. No, yeah, Queer Eye. Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Yeah, that's the dude with the, no, I'm sorry. They're non-binary with the long hair. Yeah. Okay. The Queer Eye dudes were dissing Bernie Sanders back in 2019, 2020. I don't remember. So I've held a grudge against them ever since then. But, aside from that horrible fuck up and cancelable offense, they seem cool. And aside from that, Jonathan Van Ness, they seem like good people. So, yeah. I really don't know any more of these people. Anyways, look, the story, I think it's good that they're doing this. The New York Times needs to do better. They're like the most reputable newspaper in the United States, and they can't be posting dumbass anti-trans bullshit. So that's basically it, right? Why Norfolk Southern isn't going to Ohio? Let's see. I asked Norfolk Southern why they weren't present at a town hall in East Palestine, Ohio, to talk about the toxic railroad spill that has endangered millions. They told me it was too dangerous for them to attend. No. They're actually saying this? This is a Fox News reporter. They actually said it's too dangerous for them to attend. This can't be real. No, this can... The audacity. They poison a town, claim it's fine, everything is copacetic, here's $25,000 to the Red Cross. Stop complaining, you peasants, it's safe, and they won't even show. Okay, let me just read it. Today, we hope to join local, state, and federal officials at a town hall to update the East Palestine community on the steps we're taking to thoroughly, responsibly, and safely clean up the accident site and to provide the latest results from ongoing water and air testing. We also wanted to be available to provide information on resources from our Family Assistance Center. At the same time, we know that many are rightfully angry and frustrated right now. Unfortunately, after consulting with community leaders, we have become increasingly concerned about the growing physical threat. Okay. So it's not that they're worried about the poison. They're worried that there's a physical threat to their employees and members of the community. They're literally like playing the victim game. They're playing the victim game after they've poisoned an entire town. I mean, what do you even say to that? That is genuinely insane. With that in mind, Norfolk Southern will not be in attendance this evening. We want to continue our dialogue with the community and address their concerns, and our people will remain in East Palestine, respond to the situation, and meet with residents. Everyone say hello to Poopy. He's here finally. Late, but better late than never. We are not going anywhere. We are committed to East Palestine and will continue to respond. Okay, that is some bullshit. That is some bullshit. Wow. The audacity of these fucking companies. Nationalize them. That's what you do. You nationalize them because fuck them. Is it fluffy enough, Poopy? Is it fluffy enough? Poopy. He's very tired. You good? Poopy? There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's a interesting story there. Anything else that we want to talk about? What do you all have in mind? Oh, by the way, thank you to... I forgot who it was that said they were enjoying Leftist Mafia. Where is it? I don't remember where I saw it, but thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. These companies need to be nationalized, full stop. They're American companies, so you can nationalize them. But instead, what do? We break up a strike for them. So ridiculous. I'm glad you all like the Leftist Mafia. That's awesome. Really appreciate you saying that. It's such a fun show. It feels like a hangout session every single week. I'm getting tired. Oh. Okay. Let me, real quick, just check Twitter. Make sure there's no breaking news. So, oh, here we go. Here's a good one. Here's a banger. Shout out to James from the internet shared this. So Tim Pool is saying that Antifa derailed the train. Jesus Christ. Did he really?
Moore County, North Carolina in early December, damaging equipment in what local authorities called a targeted attack that cut off power to more than 45,000 people. So how is it that we are suggesting it is accidental? We have right here direct statements in the press. Extremist groups did attack our power grid. What about the train? Remember when it's going down?
I mean, they didn't institute the new brakes. We're still using technology from the Civil War. This is a lack of regulations. So you don't get to support these companies and their deregulation and then claim it's Antifa, you dipshit. If you take off his beanie, like, there's no skull. It's just exposed brain that's like very dried up. Like the goo has been dried. And this is why he's so stupid. That's my theory. I'm trying not to burp into the microphone, but it's very difficult. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Far left extremist website gave instructions on how to derail trains. And now trains are derailing and they're full of chemicals and they're exploding. Yeah, I don't know. Trains derail, man. They really do.
Yeah. Not as frequently as in our country because we deregulate them. So we can do something about it, but, you know, why do that when they can make more profits, right? But yet we're the populists. Mike, I've been watching your videos for about 6 years. That's insane. Maybe more, and I look forward to them. You're so intelligent and break things down so I can easily understand. I appreciate you so... Liana, that is so kind of you. I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. That makes me feel very good. I needed that today. Let me see. I know people are blocking Elon Musk on Twitter, but I can't do that because, I mean, he's a lolcow. I'm not going to deny myself that stupidity and potential laughs. Let's see. I'm trying to find... Okay, so here's one. So Kimberly Guilfoyle says Gavin Newsom is unrecognizable now from when they were married.
Kimberly, Gavin Newsom, governor of California, says that you fell prey to culture at Fox News. What is your response to
when
Gavin
you read
Newsom?
that, were you like, are you kidding me? I got this story sent to me about like 57 times last night, and all the reporters reaching out to me for comment, but I'm giving it to you, Charlie. Okay, this is absurd. You know me a long time. Have you ever seen me to be someone that is led by others, like in some cult mentality that I would like, oh, I fell prey to the culture at Fox? No, I have been a proud, Republican and conservative, registering as a Republican, 18 years of age, attending UC Davis, which has gone a little crazy, and a member of the Young Republicans Party there, okay? And they matched me up with a woman that rivals me for being about as conservative and to the right as I am. Kevin knows this. I didn't change. He did. He used to be so proud to fight for small businesses, for entrepreneurs, for those hardworking men and women. And he's fallen prey to the left, the radical left, that is pushing him so far to the left that it's unrecognizable.
Gavin Newsom, very, very far left. You're unrecognizable, Kimberly. When she was married to Gavin Newsom, she looked like a completely different person. I don't know why celebrities get like so much plastic surgery. Like if you have money, you just don't know what to do with it. So they think, fuck it, I'm gonna like inject filler into my face. It's so weird. Like, have you seen John Travolta? Like, if you look at a before and after photo of John Travolta, like before he got plastic surgery and after, it's like a different people. Like, it's so weird. That's why we just have to take the money away from rich people. Because no, I'm sorry. You don't know what to do with it. You're injecting like plastic into your face. We've got to take it away. Okay, there's not really anything else that interests me online. I feel like we haven't really we talked about Section 230, but I try to talk at least about a couple of substantive topics, but I don't know what else. Yeah, there's a bunch of celebrities that, like, as they age, they just get more plastic surgery, and I don't understand why they do that. Yeah, one of the few dubs of being poor can't afford plastic surgery. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, aging is just a normal process in life. You know, you don't have to fight it. Just try to keep yourself healthy, you know? That's it. Don't, like, freak out about your looks. Who cares? Just chill. Let's see what this is. Literal propaganda geared towards children.
So governments use socialist policies to try and reward people equally. The innovators leave. So competition crumbles and the free market dies. Now everyone in Cuba is equal. Equally poor and equally suffering.
I think I understand now. Being fair doesn't mean everyone should be paid the same, since everyone's skills have different value.
And if someone has skills that are in higher demand, it makes sense that they should be paid more.
Stop. Is this from PragerU? This is not okay. They're grooming our children, folks. It's made by the Toot Twins. Who the fuck are the Toot Twins? I've never heard of them before. There's so many new characters that keep popping up on the right-wing scene. Goddamn.
Getting paid enough for their skills, they'll find someone who'll pay them more.
And that is why my family left this country.
And another word. Gabriela, your wheelchair is now the property of Cuba. Our wheelchair.
Governments use socialist policies.
It's so fucking stupid. Oh, God. I can't. Conservatives are so bad at propaganda. You know, people get brainwashed by the right, not because conservative propaganda is good. It's actually bad. But if there's just, like, so much of it everywhere, then it's just, like, statistically, you're going to get more people to, you know, pick up on it because they see it more often. But that doesn't mean it's good at all. Did you hear that conservatives are mad at Greta Thunberg because she wrote a book? How dare she? I did not. Let me see. In case you were wondering how the haha you want to improve society yet you participated in one brand of conservative logic is doing, they're mad at Greta for writing a book while being a climate activist. Oh, let me guess. Before we even see it, is it because she killed a tree to write this book? Is that what it is? Oh, God. Does anyone want to take a guess of the dumb shit they're going to say? Let's see. Oh, this scared me for a second. It's from Bill McKibben. He said, I read it, and it's awful. Like, I thought it just said awful, but it's an awfully good book. Okay. Good job, Bill. Let's see. Or maybe it'll be, I wonder if I should look at the quote tweets. I need to see these. It's going to show me all, like, the lefties first, because that's what the algorithm... Let's just do quote tweets. Fan. Read my climate manifesto printed on dead trees today. Got her. How many... I knew that this is what they're going to say. How many trees were cut down to print that rubbish? Did you... Did you drive a car to the printing company? Breaking. 20-year-old high school dropout puts together scrapbook. Climate doomsday cult. Motherfucker, you're in the doomsday cult. If you're denying climate change, you're the ones who are in the cult who are trying to get us all fucking killed. The audacity of these people. Quartering. I'm doing my part to save the environment by not purchasing this book, which requires the murder of precious trees to exist. They're so fucking corny. Like, all I had to do was, like, concoct the most boring, lazy attack that I thought they might lob at her, and sure enough, that's what they're doing. That's exactly what the fuck they're doing. I'm this stinky motherfucker. I'm doing my part to save the environment by not purchasing this book. Don't pretend like you read The Quartering. Don't pretend like you know how to read, okay? God. Climate change champion uses a rainforest to print a book about saving the planet. I'm sure that, like, we had to deforest the entire rainforest, the Amazon rainforest, just to print this book. But it was worth it, though. Worth it. How many... oh, God. It's just endless. How many trees are cut to make paper for this book? And you claim, as an environmental activist, on average, 1 tree will be cut for every 500 pages printed. I cannot. Hope no trees were cut down. Folks, I cannot handle how unoriginal and lazy they are. Jesus. They've been using this same line of attack for decades now. Do you remember when An Inconvenient Truth came out? And there was like this huge scandal about Al Gore and how, you know, he's not living up to the standards that he espouses. He drives a car. Okay? Like, we're not talking about individual actions here. We're talking about systemic changes that are needed to combat anthropogenic climate change. So, I don't know if these conservatives read or knew about this, but just 100 corporations are responsible for 71% of global greenhouse gas emissions. So, riding your fucking bike to work over a car, sure, that's great, but it's not going to make a difference in the grand scheme of things. That's not to say that, like, we shouldn't individually do things to mitigate our climate footprints, or carbon footprints, I should say. Like, sure, let's try to eat less meat. Let's try to take public transit. Yeah, that's great. But at the end of the day, even if 100% of us put in this effort, the planet would still not be saved because, again, these corporations are the ones who emit the lion's share of greenhouse gas emissions. So unless we get governments to get them to stop, what we do makes no difference whatsoever. But of course, conservatives are, they're going to go for the individuals here. Thunberg has a new paper book, Guess Trees Don't Matter. I mean, what can trees do for the environment? Okay, here's somebody who's happy. Great source of toilet paper. Who's going to read an inch thick of utter BS written by some leftist ghostwriter? I dare you to use this, Elvis, as toilet paper. I dare you. That will destroy your anus. I'll just leave this here, because isn't it obvious? I mean, the hypocrisy. She's holding a book, and she claims to care about the environment? I love it. Millions of trees were cut so that this book could be published. Even the ink could possibly be petroleum-based. Remember when somebody called into David Pakman's show, and they called me a climate hypocrite because there's petroleum used in the ink that went into my tattoos? I mean, I love it. That's all I'll say. How many trees... They're all going to ask the same fucking question. How many trees were cut down? You cut down trees for that? Surely you'd make a digital copy only if you cared that much about climate. Cut down trees to buy my book. The fucking irony. I'm sure that there is a digital copy. Chop down the tree. Oh, okay, this is the Amazing Atheist. Chop down tree to make book. Though therefore hypocrite. Okay, he's memeing him. Grifting environmentalists prints book unnecessarily. How many trees? Let me just, you know what? Let me scroll down as far as I can. As far as I can. So that way it loads a bunch of tweets. And then what I'm going to do is go up and do a Control F for trees. Cut down more trees. Come on. Oh, is it not going to do it? Come on. You stupid. God damn it. Twitter is fucking broken. Fuck you, Elon Musk. I'm trying to Control F. It won't let me move to another tweet. Okay, well, Elon broke Twitter, so I can't do that. Oh, wait. Why am I on one fucking tweet? That's why. Okay. Nope, it's still not doing it. Okay, well, whatever. Thanks, Ellen, for breaking Twitter, you dipshit. Okay. How many trees, Greta? Climate my ass, you puppet. Talk about a waste of paper, LOL. I have such great respect for. Oh no, this is that's somebody who. I just a little preemptive there on my part. Let's see. This is. I don't know why this is so amusing. Wait. That was a good one. Hope no trees were cut down to make these papers that published that book. Where's the, I'm sure our government will make this book a bestseller, like they do with all the president books. It's how the damn money laundering system works. Okay, I've read some of these, so I need to scroll down further. Couldn't make it online only, I suppose, to save the planet, or at least, or at the very least, print it on airline tickets of yours. You ride planes. Hypocrite. Hypocrite. What's that? Did I hear a fart? That's methane, Greta. You're farting, therefore you're contributing to greenhouse gases. Hypocrite. Don't you know that in order to be perfectly pure when it comes to the climate, you have to hold in all of your farts? Climate book by cutting down trees? Facepalm emoji. Facepalm emoji. The Climate Book by Greta Thunberg. Chapter 1. How dare you? Chapter 2. You stole my childhood. Chapter 3. Fuck school. Chapter 4. How I became a CNN expert. Jesus Christ. Dispropaganda. I spent the last 5 years recycling materials. What a fucking hero. Before that, I spent 8 years as a hazmat specialist cleaning up spills. I plant trees for fun. Nut up or shut up. I don't get if that person is for or against it, honestly. I genuinely don't know. Expensive bog roll. What? Stop anti-white racism. Okay. So, I'm assuming that this person is not a fan of Greta, but what is an expensive bong? Oh, expensive bong roll? Aren't you against that too, conservatives? Puritanical little motherfuckers. Cash out season. I mean, a lot of these are borderline incoherent. Oh, we got another one. How many trees were cut down to make your books? A PDF would be nice. Yes, because the kids nowadays, we all read our books digitally through PDF files. What a waste of paper. From Cranberry Pointy Toes, Kazi 54. Wow, great thick book will come in handy when you deranged liberals do away with electricity and gas. Big book burn long time. Got him, Steve 613. So many trees died for your book. I swear to God. An uneducated girl who refuses to go to school wrote a science book. We live in interesting times. I, for one, am smart and understand the science. And the science determines that climate change is not real. Idiot, you should have learned that. You'd learn that if you went to school. So essentially, cut down more trees to buy my book? Surely a digital-only book. I love how they're pretending as if there's not a digital-only book. As if, like, younger people don't mostly consume books through digital means. Like, I read every single night, and the last time I bought a physical book was like a few months ago, and I decided to not even read it because it was a Steven Spielberg book, so it was very, very big. It was his new book. It was good, but it was just reading physical sucks ass. So, you know, I went back to just reading on my e-reader. But like, as if people don't already read digitally, you know, like they're so stupid. Oh, this person's trying to ratio her. Climate hoax, ratio much, Hashtag climate hoax. Well, Fletch, you're getting there. Let's see. She has a total of 138,000 likes, and you have 2. So it's possible that you could ratio her. So it's, you know, as long as you believe that it's possible, then I'm glad. How many trees cut to make paper for this? God, it's so much. And the grift has arrived. Trees eat CO2. Lumber is harvested solely using extreme fossil fuel usage. Paper made from wood. Books made from paper. Book is delivered via fossil fuels. Selling books is capitalism. Good for her. Take the idiot money. God, they're owning her so hard. You didn't even write it, babe. God. So they either are doing the whole, how many trees? Or, sweetie, you're just not educated. You're too young. Come back to us when you grow up and have a degree in climate science. Otherwise, sit down. So they're like going for overly pretentious, condescending, or just paste-eating dipshits. God damn. God damn. Jordan Peterson decided to attack Greta Thunberg over this book. Let me find that. I want to see that. I love how Preacher Reptilian is in my searches, and that's like my one search. Where's Jordan? Here he is. Here he is. Well, before we even see his tweet, what do you all think? I wonder how many trees that it took to print that book. Climate is a hoax. That's a terrible Jordan Peterson impression, but just like, you have to try to do a Kermit the Frog and then you get Jordan Peterson. But let me see. What'd he say? Holy shit, he tweets a lot. We've seen like, dude, let me see. God, what the fuck? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 tweets within 16 minutes. Like, we're averaging 1 tweet every 2 minutes. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. He tweets so much. Am I ever going to find the Greta tweet? Oh my God. What is this? Glenn Greenwald simping for Joe Rogan and Elon Musk. Okay. Good job, Glenn. Speaking truth to power there. Oh my God. Jordan Peterson tweets so much. Where the fuck? 2 hours. Listen, we've been scrolling for what, like 5 minutes now? We're just at 2 hours ago. Like, imagine if he tweeted this yesterday. It's going to take us all night to get to his tweet about Greta. Holy shit. I'd rather spend time... Wait, let me get into my Jordan voice. I'd rather spend time listening to Jen Uger, and that's as close as hell I ever want to get. Damn. I love how they're quote tweeting. He's quote tweeting Majority Report, posting his L's. Jordan Peterson has some disturbing ideas about consent. Retweet. You might just want to avoid that one, brother. Here's another reason to trust me. The Majority Report thinks I'm wrong again. Majority FM. I was suggesting as I see. He has to explain. That'll clear it up. Holy shit. Okay, so we're at 6 hours ago. Where is the tweet? Did he even... Are you all lying to me? Like, where did we even... I forgot. Like, where did we even hear that he responded to Greta Thunberg? It's just so... There's so much. Oh, socialism bad. Western youth supporting socialism. Oh, yeah. Got him. It's not the corporations here. That's socialism. That's the boot coming down on them. Oh my God. Social control. He tweets so much. He needs to log off. What is it with fucking boomers these days? Won't put down their phones. Oh my God. I'm starting to think that he didn't even like respond to Greta Thunberg. So we're at yesterday finally. Okay. Retweeting a non-binary person. Oh, they're bad because they're non-binary. Retweeting Ellen. I'm genuinely shocked at how much he tweets. When was the does anyone just have the tweet? Like, this is honestly driving me nuts. Yeah, boomers are more addicted than young people. Absolutely. It's giving me hard breathing, honestly. Oh, here, we finally fucking found it. From yesterday. It took us like 10 minutes to find it. And we found it. Holy shit. Okay. I forgot what the fuck we were even talking about. So, we thought he was going to ask about trees. So here it is. What's the carbon footprint of the book, dearie? Or is what you're doing so important that such niceties simply don't apply? Okay, well, to his credit, he didn't bring up trees. But just mentioning the carbon footprint, I think is kind of like in the same spirit. But to be fair, I guessed wrong. So, holy shit. I'm sounding like Louis Armstrong. I'm going to end up giving myself, like, a sore throat by talking like that. This is the culmination of his career. Let's watch it. Thanks, Balthazar, by the way, for the $5 tip. I really appreciate that.
Is this. The rats are all like this. The rat goes like this. So, the rat's like this. The normal rat is like this. That's the normal rat. Like this, like this. It sniffs. It's like this for quite a while. He's like this. And then maybe he sniffs. You are now a normal rat.
How have I not seen that yet? Yeah, the way he says dearie makes me want to jump off a cliff. There's something about it that just is so creepy. Okay. Time to share my extremist political views with with a lucky young lady. Are these people just shitting on Jordan, or? Oh my god. The book is nothing compared to her hiring a full sailing crew to take her to the US without generating CO2, and then the entire crew having to fly back to Sweden, or the many private jets that take global elites to each global warming conference. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. For how much these conservatives shill for these fossil fuel companies who want to profit off of the destruction of our entire fucking planet. Like, as hard as they ride their dicks, I hope that these fossil fuel CEOs are taking them to dinner at least. I hope that these fossil fuel CEOs are paying them, because to shill this hard, to spread so much propaganda and misinformation for free would be honestly embarrassing. So I hope that people like Dan Sullivan, director of Saving Communities, vice president, I hope that you're getting paid, because like to shill for free would just be embarrassing. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Okay, folks. I think that we've chatted for too long. I'm tired. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna raid Matt Binder, and then I'm gonna bounce, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Raid Matt Binder. Send Matt Binder lots and lots of love, and I will see you all next Wednesday. Take care, folks.